All right, we're back on Get Up, and we all thought this was interesting. We're sort of at the halfway point of the NFL season, and right now Josh Allen is at Caesars, the favorite to win MVP. That may not be a huge surprise, but look all the way down at the bottom of that screen. Aaron Rodgers, who quarterbacks the Green Bay Packers, who beat an unbeaten team last Thursday night without basically any of his weapons, and has his team sitting at 7-1, is all the way down that list, and that just struck a lot of us as interesting. Did it strike you as interesting?
I mean, I guess. I don't think that he should be the top of the list. I think it should be Matt Stafford. Like, last year, the Rams' offense was 22nd in efficiency. You know what they are right now? They're first. Matt Stafford leads the league in QBR. I think the next guy has 15. He's number 1 in EPA. Like, he's doing all the things that you want him to do. And how do you measure value? By numbers like that. Like, last year, they were bad at offense. This year, they are now the best in the league at offense. So, I mean, I understand why people are uncomfortable with where Aaron Rodgers is, but even that big game that you're touting for why Aaron Rodgers should be higher on this list, he was mediocre in that game. Like, he was a game manager in that big win, which is fine, but that's what he was.
Well, I don't know. Considering the fact that he had Graziano and I as his primary receivers on the outside, I'm not convinced that he didn't do exactly what he needed to do to win the game.
He did. But what he needed to do was not to light it up. Like, he was all right. He was checking down. He was throwing screen passes. He wasn't turning it over. He wasn't MVPing.
Saturday, who's your MVP right now?
That's what makes you the MVP, is that when you don't have your best guys, you're the most valuable player, not your other guys, you. And that's what he was when they played him. Listen, here's the thing. Numbers don't tell you the whole story, but let me just say this. He's had 17 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. 2 of his interceptions were week 1. So he's had no touchdowns that week. So he has 17 touchdowns and 1 pick in these weeks. Offensive linemen have been hurt. I mean, wide receivers have been hurt and missed games. And you think he just keeps on plugging along. When you talk about who's the most valuable player, he just went into, on a short week, the undefeated team in the NFC, which everybody was calling the best team in the NFC, and he beat them. That tells you. And Dak Prescott didn't even play a game, bro, and he's ranked higher than that?
Well, I mean, Dak Prescott is more valuable. It's the fact of the matter is, I mean, AJ Dillon won that game.
Cooper Rush just beat the Vikings. No, do not say that right there, heresy.
It's not.
It's right now? The dude doesn't even play, and you're saying, no, you can't miss games and still be up in there.
You got to play every single game to be MVP. Dak Prescott is more valuable than Aaron Rodgers is right now to his team. It's just, I mean,
can I just say, Dan, we've been on the air on the show almost 4 years. That's the first time the word heresy has been used. So I like that. Who's the MVP?
I'd go with Tom Brady. I mean, look, if I was betting it, I like the price on Aaron Rodgers better than some of those guys. But, I mean, Brady, to me, like, you know, they have had injuries. They haven't had Rob Gronkowski. Antonio Brown's been out. We know all about their defense and how messed up that secondary is right now. And he's still at the top of. I mean, these are all good. These are all good choices.
I picked him last week, but he had a bad day in New Orleans.
They did lose.
So we got Captain Recency bias over here. It's like one bad game and you're off him, huh? Okay.
I would have put Derrick Henry on this screen, to be completely honest with you, until that injury yesterday. But I will go with Rodgers for the simple reason that I think he's leading the least good team. If you look at the team that Dak Prescott has, and the team that Tom Brady has, and the team that Matt Stafford has, and I forget who else was on, that Josh Allen has, I think that Aaron Rodgers is doing more with less. And when you're splitting hairs, as we are, between any of these perfectly worthy contestants, that's the way I
You didn't know he was about to alley-oop you like that, did you? You didn't know I was going to just toss it up, and then here comes Green.
But I'm fine at the rim like Giannis, ready to block that foolishness, because I watched the game, the Arizona game, I watched it. Like, Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback, but you can't say he's doing more with less when you watch that game. Yeah. The defense played well. The running game was outstanding. The screen game was outstanding. In that particular game, they showed that there is more to that team than just Aaron Rodgers.
The Cowboys definitely didn't show that with Cooper Rush.
The college crew was standing by.
They had
we will come back to this,
points.
I promise.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.